Angered that the accused killer was able to rack up case after case and was still granted bond after bond after bond. In fact, allegedly shooting this little girl in the head less than 2 weeks after his most recent jail stint. Khylie Sorrells shot and killed at just 9 years old inside her mother's apartment Monday night.
I cannot fathom why some animal would do that to a child.
Doug Griffith with the Houston Police Officers Union not mincing words for Jeremiah Jones. The 22-year-old accused killer also shot and injured Kylie's mother, his ex-girlfriend. Court records show he had just bonded out of jail June 1st for charges of evading police, making a terroristic threat, and violating a protective order. Prosecutors requested bond be denied, but a judge granting bonds totaling $45,000. Jones was already out on bond for felon in possession of a firearm and burglary of a habitation when he was granted these 3 new bonds June 1st.
Hello everyone, this is Sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to talk about this tragic story coming out of Houston, Texas. And it happened on Monday, June 13th of 2022, where we have a 9-year-old by the name of Khylie Sorrells, who lost her life allegedly at the hands of Jeremiah Jones, who's 22 years old. He was the ex-boyfriend of Kylie's mother, whose name is Brittany Sorrells. And there was, an altercation between the mom and the boyfriend, and allegedly this young man, he shot the mom and then he took out this little girl. And of course he is arrested, but before all this man has been 22 years old and has been back and forth in jail, was out on bond on I believe 5 different felonies, but each time of course he was granted bail. And this happened. He's been on bail. I think he's been out on bail since January, and now this has happened. And even being on bail, it's not like he was staying out of trouble. He was still getting in back and forths, allegedly. It's like he didn't learn his lesson. But anyway, there's many things to be said about this case. It's so tragic. But at the end of the day, this little girl will never, ever be with us. We will never get to see her full potential, her purpose, how she's going to affect people's lives. Yes, she's affecting many people's lives, but how she was supposed to affect people's lives while she's here and she's able to see it. We will never know. She might have been the person to change her community, come out with a cure of cancer. We don't know, but this girl was full of potential, because each child is full of potential. That's why they're supposed to be raised right. That's why they're supposed to be protected. That's why they're supposed to be taken care of, so that they are able to accomplish the purpose and the plans that God has put them here for. But unfortunately, this will never happen. This will never ever happen, unfortunately. And that is so sad. That is so sad. And this young man allegedly, whatever happened, something happened. And I believe the mom and this young, just in case you was thinking of something, I believe there's fault on the mom's side and definitely on this young man's side. But before, and I'm not taking sides, because I don't trust the mom, I don't trust this guy at all. I know him and his brother, I believe by the name of Chris, was on Zoom, and they was doing different interviews, and then they was trying to put down the mom. Oh, she don't even have $20, but your brother was with her, and even the mom, right after this happened, I believe she was in the ambulance when she went on live, Instagram live. If you go and do your research, you'll see she went on live with, blood all over her shirt, saying that, allegedly what he did to her. She got hit, and then he took out her daughter, which is, behaviors like this is not normal. And a bunch of people trying to justify a lot of things. Oh, you guys victim blaming, you blaming the mom. Oh, you bashing a black woman. She just, you insensitive. She just lost her child, and different things like that. Oh, you're not the police. All those type of words to shut you up, so you don't call out stuff that don't make no sense. So you don't call out things that don't look right. So you should to shut you up. Oh, that doesn't matter. Be quiet. It doesn't matter. She just lost a child. But people who, other people who have lost children, is certain moves they do not make. They people call it out. Number one, to warn other women who may have been slacking off, inviting, and then she was with this. This is the thing. She was with this guy for 8 months. How you with this guy? A lot of people may not know that. May know or may not know that. You've been dating somebody for 8 months. How does this man even know where you live? How does man have even met your children? We have to be very careful with our children. We have to protect our children, because our children know better. We are supposed to protect our children. And there are decisions that were made by the mother that caused the life of this child. And people could try to justify it any way they can, because people are always trying to justify stuff. And then when people who see it point it out, they try to shame you, so you shut your mouth so you don't do it. That's why this thing keep on happening, because you can't hold women accountable. You can't post stuff for certain stuff. But we are the caretakers of the children. The majority, we are the caretakers of the children. We need to know if certain moves that we're making, certain decisions we are making, that will affect our children. We may not see it, but other people may say, I think you need to stop. I need to, but sometimes we don't listen. Sometimes we think it won't happen to us. And then other people may not know, but when other people are pointing it out to say, hey, this is what she did, but you wasn't supposed to do it. No, don't say nothing. And then this thing keeps on happening. It's gonna keep on happening. If you think it's gonna get better, because now everybody's focused on the story, but unfortunately, it's gonna be another story that's going to come out again, something tragic with another kid or another kids, and then the attention is for maybe some people who have been touched by the story, they still will remember, but the majority of the attention is going to be taken away from this other story that's going to come up. Because why? We as parents, all of us are not doing what we're supposed to do to raise our children. We are not. We are failing our children, and that goes for me. I'm not immune to bad decisions. I can make a bad decision that affect my children's life. I'm not immune just because I'm pointing certain things out, because I'm on YouTube. I'm not immune to that. That's why we have to be careful. That's why the Bible says you have to watch and pray. You have to raise your child in the way they should go. Sometimes we're praying, we're not watching. Sometimes we're watching, we're not praying. You have to watch and pray. You have to be there for your child, because your child does not know certain things. And you don't know certain things. Also, that's why you have to be careful with certain, because you have seen other people have done certain things, and it has taken their children out. It has affected their children's life for the worst. And that affected their children's life forever. And like I say, all attention eventually will be taken away from this case, because it's going to happen again, because you can't hold women accountable. You can't point certain stuff, so people not going to learn from this. You're going to be sad, and then after that nobody learns anything, and then it's going to happen again. But when all of the attention is taken away, this young man and this young lady, it's going to have to sit down and see. You're going to have to see exactly where your fault was, because both of them are at fault. And that's my opinion. But that's what I believe, because of the different things that I have seen going on. And Nick at Night did a very, 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 very thorough research on this story. I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm going to link it down below. Even if you don't watch my whole video, go and watch Nick's video to see the things that was going on after this child's demise. It don't make no sense at all. I'm going to link Nick at Night. Nick is INKUE, at night with NITE. Nick at Night. She did a very, very phenomenal. She did a very great job. But I have a few things that I would like that I saw that I was able to research where this young lady. Some people say it was a video that a young man put out there because this young lady is known to scam people, allegedly known to scam people. And some people say this video was put out there months ago, years ago, whatever, it was put out, and it was showing her in a different light, to in a sense that she does not really protect her children, in a sense. And there were different people talking about, the child just lost its life, and then she already made a GoFundMe. Usually in other circumstances, when people lost their child, is another family member that takes over and organizes the GoFundMe if they have to do that. And she's been posting back and forth, but I'll come back. I'll show you what I found.
Yes, I'm following you,
Why
bro.
you
Because
following
you want me
me?
to get my money.
Why? You not
scamming.
gonna do shit. Okay, how you gonna get it? You finna take it from me?
Ain't you making hair? Ain't you doing hair?
Don't worry about
Ain't you doing hair?
what
You
the
finna
fuck
get that
you
from me. I ain't gotta do all that. You a
Okay,
female.
don't worry about me.
I ain't gotta do all
Call
that.
your bitch.
You ain't gotta do all that.
Call your bitch, but stop following me.
I am gonna keep following you.
Right now.
If you gonna do
Stop
something about it,
following
do it. Touch me.
I'm letting
And
you
I'm
know.
gonna show you something.
Okay, show me.
Touch me. I'm gonna show you something.
Show me, please.
Whatever, my nigga. Do all
Show me,
that.
please.
You heard what I said, though. She's a scammer. She's scamming people out of CPNs, BOAs, all that shit, man. She's a scammer. I got screenshots, page screenshots, everything. She wanna do the most. You wanna jail today, though. Yeah, let somebody shoot at me too. I got people watching, my nigga. What you talking about? Yeah, come on, don't worry about that. Yeah, whatever. I ain't tripping. Mine's already here though. Mine's already here. Let me get my bread. Law's gonna be here too. Yeah, Law's gonna be here too. Yeah, whatever. She got her daughter out here. She doing this crash dummy ass shit. Lame motherfucker, bro. Just can't give a nigga his $250 back, bro. Ain't taking no L. My shit, man.
What's up? Why are you following my child? Why are you following my child? You're not gonna make
She left her child doing crash dummy stuff, bro. Her mama not doing right.
So you just saw the clip of her leaving her child, and then that's a very good example of when I say children are truly innocent. That's why they need to be protected. Usually other kids, some kids are very aware when they're young. They're in the elevator with a stranger. They would have knocked, they would have been crying, "Mommy, help me, help me, help me." The little girl was like nonchalant. And it's like she's probably did it before. It looks like she probably did it before how she was able to go in, press the button. Maybe it wasn't a lot of button. But she was, she's a kid. She's innocent. She didn't think that, put in her mind that the man was going to do something to her. But we as adults, that's why we need to protect our children, because the little girl, may not know if somebody may try to, do something to her. But we as parents, we know this can happen. That's why we need to protect our children. So that was a very good example of why kids need to be protected. They don't know. They don't know any better. But anyway, before this young man turned himself in, he was saying he's innocent. There's a video camera of him at a gas station. I don't know, whatever, that they need to get. If they could get it, then he'll turn himself in. And then there was pushing the narrative, his Jeremiah and his brother pushing the narrative that, she's scamming, which a lot of people say allegedly is true. And she doesn't know where it's coming from, because she's been scamming a lot of people. So it's probably one of them. So why people are saying, why I see she should not be doing, and if you watch Nika Tight's video, this lady was even going back and forth with this young man after losing her child. She's going back and forth. Go watch Nika Tight's video. She also, she put a text message how it looked like he was obsessed with her, but he also put text messages out there to show how she is not all there too. So it's showing that he is, oh my goodness, this is so much. She shows text messages that he's not all there. He has text messages that shows she is not all there. So basically, these two were never supposed to be together. That's all it boils down to. Some people bring the best out of you. These two bring the worst out of each other. They were never ever supposed to be together. And then what happened, the loss in this relationship is the life of this little girl. That's what ended up being the biggest loss ever. But how they pushing this narrative that, she was gamming and doing different things, because he's so-called have a 6-figure lawyer. All the lawyer has to do is bring up reasonable doubt. That's it. Reasonable doubt. And I would pray that this doesn't happen. But if he's trying to spin that it was somebody else, or maybe they try to spin that she did it, or whatever it may be, however they try to spin it, if they can bring up reasonable doubt, this young man could walk. Because why this young lady can't stay off social media? How you lose your child, you on social media going back and forth? It does not make sense. And people justifying, that's the way she's grieving. What people used to do when there was no social media? Didn't people used to grieve? Why people justify a bunch of foolishness? When you are a leader, you're able to see certain things people may not see. You're able to see further, and that's why certain people who have that ability, is best to heed their warning when they tell you certain stuff, because you may not see it, but the person sees it very, very clearly. And it's obvious you just lost your child. Your emotions are all over the place. Even if you wanted to go on social media, to let to bring awareness to the case so they could get him, let somebody else do that. You in the background, you telling the person what to post or whatever it may be. But from the language, it was clear, evidently it was her behind certain things. Let the other people deal with it, because he was already saying that he was going to be, turn himself in, and they was eventually going to get him. So you going back and forth, posting stuff, is not a good look. It's not a good look, and it does not show a grieving parent. It does not. Yes, you posting now. She's posting pictures and stuff like that. But the going back and forth with him, posting text messages, and then both of them, you don't even know when these text messages were, because I didn't see any dates on them. So that's another thing. So it's a tit for tat between just Jeremiah and this Brittany, and this little girl is on ice. It don't make no sense. And people are warning, say, hey, don't do this. This is what this young lady, don't do this. God forbid this his lawyer is able to prove reasonable doubt, bring up reasonable doubt in this case, and then this young man walks because of the things you were posting on social media. And whatever you post on social media, you can't take it off. You could delete it off your page if you want. Make your page private, doesn't matter. People have screenshotted, screen recorded it, save it, put it on a flash drive, put it in their Google Drive. It's there, out there forever, and it can be and it can be used against you. This is why people is pointing these stuff out. This is why saying why you run and go made a GoFundMe, why you did this, why it doesn't make sense. A lot of things in the story don't make sense. A lot of things in the story is not truthful. The only truth is this young lady, this little girl is gone, and she's gone forever. She will never come back. She will never ever come back again. Even if this young lady have another child, probably look just like her, but that's the other child. That would never be Khylie. And it's such an unfortunate thing that we as parents are learning very hard lessons, in the sense that we're losing our children because of different decisions we are making, because of the way we raise our child, or the way we refuse to raise our children, the people that we bring around our children. A lot of kids are losing their lives because of this, and it's only going to get worse. Don't think it's going to get better, because we are not learning. What are we learning? We're not learning. And then even if we're supposed to learn from people's mistakes, just like the Bible the Bible was talking about David. David was the Bible say he was a God. He was a man after God's heart. You know, he loved the Lord, but he made a lot of mistakes. The people who's writing the Bible, they could have left that out so he could look like a phenomenal man. You know, he never made a mistake, but he made a whole lot of mistakes that cost him. And it was put there so that we can learn from that, so we don't end up making the same mistakes. But we don't learn from those mistakes. We see what's happening, and then people try to point it out. You get shamed because you bring down another black woman. She's a mother. You kicking people when they're down and stuff like that. So don't say anything. And then next week, next month, the same scenario plays out. And who's a casualty? A child or children. This thing, when are we going to wake up? When are we all, because we all have a part in a lot of things that are happening to these children. And it's going to keep on happening. There are kids who will not finish the summer. There are kids who will not go back to school. There are kids who's going to start school that will not finish the whole school year. There are kids who will not see their teen years. There are kids who will not see their adulthood because of what we as parents are doing, the moves that we are making. I do send my condolences to the family. This is such a tragic story, and I just don't understand a lot of things in it. The only thing I know is clear, that this girl is no longer here with us. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.